Hello, sixth form. Let's continue with the war with Grandpa. Today we're going to read chapter 14. Chapter 14. War is declared. I scouted around and when nobody was looking, sneaked down to my dad's office in the basement. It was a mess. There were 3 lights in the ceiling, but only one of them worked. Dad had put down the floor himself, and some of the tiles were loose. There was a sink in the corner near the bathroom, but it didn't work and nobody knew how to fix it. Lucky for me, all I wanted was to use Dad's typewriter, and that was working. When you start a war, you have to send the enemy a note, or something like that, telling them what you want and why you want it. I had to let Grandpa know why I was about to go to war with him. And I really didn't want to sign my name to the note or even have it in my handwriting. Because if my parents got a hold of it, that would be the end of the war. And the end of me, probably. I stuck a piece of my dad's scrap paper in his typewriter and began. Here's what I typed. Declaration of war. You have stolen something that belongs to me. You have taken my room and I want it back. This is a warning. You have 24 hours to give me back what is mine, or else war will begin. I signed it this way. The Secret Warrior. I thought that was pretty good. The note sounded hard and tough, like I really meant business. To tell the truth, I was so nervous my hands were shaking. And then I thought Grandpa would certainly show it to Mom and Dad. So I put in a PS at the bottom. PS. This war is between you and me. Don't tell my parents or I'll never talk to you again. Well, I thought, if you are going to start a war, this note was a good way to begin. Now the question was, what should I do with it? I thought about that for a long time, about 10 minutes anyway. I wanted to put it someplace where Grandpa could find it when he was alone. I sure didn't want anyone else in the family to see it. That meant I had to put it in Grandpa's room, my room really, until he stole it. And I had to sneak it in there sometime when my mom wasn't coming up there to clean. I waited until after dinner. All the time I had that note folded up and tucked into my pants pocket, which was practically the whole day. I was like a shivery rabbit. Just feeling that piece of paper crinkling in my pocket made me nervous. I sneaked upstairs when Grandpa sat down in front of the TV in the living room, which was where he was almost every night now. I went into Grandpa's room and closed the door quietly behind me. Then I looked around. On the top dresser, Grandpa had a photograph of Grandma in an old silver frame. Next to it was his hairbrush and comb. Then the door opened suddenly and I almost jumped out of my skin. "Hi, Pete," Jenny said. "What are you doing?" "Nothing," I said really fast. My voice was so high and squeaky it sounded funny in my ears. Jenny gave me a strange look. "Did I frighten you?" she asked. "No, you didn't frighten me," I lied. "You look funny," she said, then shrugged. "You want to play casino? Mom and Dad are busy and Grandpa's too tired." That was just like Jenny. Here was about to start a war and she wanted to play games. "No, I don't want to play casino," I said, "or any other stupid game. Why don't you go downstairs and watch TV with Grandpa, or read a book, or go practice ballet, or do anything instead of coming up here and bothering me?" She looked at me for a long minute. "Weird," she said. "Totally weird." Then she walked out of the room. If this was how a war is, I thought, I wouldn't make a very good soldier. I took the folded note from my pocket, unfolded it, and stuck it under Grandpa's bedspread and on top of his pillow. He'd had to be blind not to see it. So he would surely read it tonight, and then the war between us would start. I felt nervous about it, but not too much. Whatever was going to happen, I was ready for. Then I went upstairs to my stinky room and threw a tennis ball against the wall about 40 million times.